Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. We are going to talk about California. So, ladies and gentlemen, and I also want to add to this in 21 days, the country is going to be out of jet fuel. Do you know what that's going to do to the airline industry? The airline industry is going to be done if there's no jet fuel, but they're saying there's about 3 weeks worth of jet fuel left in the country. And California is about 6 weeks away from being out of fuel. So it's not just California. This is hitting all over the country. It was only a few days ago I was telling y'all about people going out and starting to see out of fuel signs around the country. So it's not unusual for states to now feel the crunch. It's already happening and it's going to get worse. And if you remember, it was happening overseas, and that's usually how it happens. It'll happen over there first, and then later on, it will hit us. Now, be prepared. Be prepared. Don't be in denial. Be prepared for virtually anything. And Donald Trump is trying to blame Biden for everything. He's back on that. And no, Donald Trump, this is all yours. You got this country into a war and you lied about the amount of gas and oil we get out of the Strait of Hormuz. It has got to be way more than what you told us, because if it was only 2% or these low percentages, then this country shouldn't even feel a gas shortage. But the fact that one is happening, it's got to be, I would probably say, probably 30 to 40%. And Donald Trump wants us to believe it's just a tiny fraction. A tiny fraction wouldn't do this to your country. Plain and simple. So this is definitely a disgrace. It's shameful that America is even going through something like this. But hey, every lie you tell, the truth will come out on display. Eagle Talents, thank you so much for the 7-month membership, and shalom to you. Thank you for your support. So, Donald Trump is clearly lying about the amount of oil we get out of the Straits of Hormuz. Plus, his actions pretty much give it away. Oh, we're going to do this by force and all that. You wouldn't be doing all of that if all you were getting out of there was 2%. You wouldn't even care whether it was open or closed if you're only getting a low percentage. But apparently, you do care. And that tells me the amount this country is getting is very significant, or otherwise it wouldn't matter to you whether it was open or closed if it was just some 2%. So, anyway, y'all, let's get to this story that has come out from California, running out of fuel in just 6 weeks. And the airlines, wow, the jet fuel, that's going to kill the summer travel season, y'all. Just think about it. The biggest travel season is summer, and it will be completely shut down if there's no jet fuel. And a lot of airlines have already cut many of their flights because there's not enough jet fuel now. That's already happening. Okay. Oh boy, this is going to be an interesting year. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen so we can get started. All right. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Oh yeah. I mean, California being without fuel, that's going to collapse the state. The whole state it will collapse with no fuel. Thank you, everybody.
On a different topic, yesterday, the vice chair of the California Energy Commission told the legislature we have 4 to 6 weeks left of fuel if the Iranian war continues. Now, if a bill comes before you, I want to know, do you sign it or do you veto it? And this bill would be whether to seek an increase in oil production in Kern County in the Central Valley. The governor of this state was not a big fan of oil. He's actually changed his tune a little bit on that. Yes or no? This is the bill. Do you sign it or do you veto it? Mayor Villaraigosa.
Yes.
Congressman Porter.
Can you repeat the question?
So would you advocate for an increase in oil production in the state? Western states point of...
No,
okay, all right.
No.
All right, very good. Mr. Sheriff Bianco.
Absolutely.
Mr. Hilton.
We don't need a bill. I'll get it done directly as governor by instructing
no?
the California
Yes.
Department
We'll
of Geologic and Energy Management
We'll
to
take
open
that
up
as a
oil
yes.
production. This is the problem with Democrats.
Mr.
Endless legislation
Mr.
instead of just
Steyer.
getting the job done.
We're going to veto it next time. Mr. Steyer.
No.
All right. Mr. Secretary Becerra.
Versus importing? Yes.
Mayor.
Yes, we also should stop pushing all of our refining capacity out of state and importing dirtier oil from thousands of miles away. It doesn't make sense.
One other thing, everybody has an opinion about this. You don't need to go into detail. It'll cost another $30 billion to finish California high-speed rail from Merced to Bakersfield. We've got the viaduct laid.
Am I the only one hearing that we've only got 6 weeks of jet fuel left? People have got annual leave booked. And you're telling me come June, there's no more flights and holidays are cancelled. Let me know where these illegal immigrants are, because I'm going to ask them if they've got room for one more, or if they've got boat tips. Keir Starmer, Donald Trump. Obviously, you ain't watching this, man, but you lot need to sort it out.
California leaders are saying they have just 4 to 6 weeks of gasoline and diesel supply left. This shortage spirals into a massive debate about who is to blame: the oil wars, the transition to green energy, or the sheer inertia of the system. One commenter noted that California's dependence on its own special fuel blend, while aiming for cleaner air, has created severe logistical choke points. The push for this clean air standard meant that refineries have been closing, leading to a drastic reduction in domestic capacity. Add in the reality that the state is a net importer of oil, and you have a beautiful recipe for high prices and inevitable crisis. While some argue that the shift to renewables is the only long-term answer, others...
So, gas is already high in California, groceries are already high, rent is already disrespectful, and now we might be 6 weeks away from things getting worse. Let's break this down real quick, because this is not just about gas. This is about groceries, delivery fees, flights, trucking, and basically anything that has to move from one place to another. Now, California is vulnerable because it already has high gas prices, low fuel inventories, reduced refinery capacity, and limited access to fuel from the rest of the country's pipeline system. ABC already reported that refinery shutdowns have made the state even more exposed if imports stay disrupted. California is like that person who lives far away from everybody, has one charger, 10% battery, and the power just went out. You might be okay right now, but if the power stays out too long, problem. Now, experts are warning that there may be about a 6-week window before prices get worse if the disruption continues. And once fuel prices rise, it don't stop at the gas pump. Truckers, stores, airlines, delivery companies, they all pay more. And then guess who pays more next? Regular people. Because somehow every crisis ends with us standing at the register wondering why eggs, chips, and gas are all acting like luxury items. Now, California's fuel market is more isolated than most of the country, which is why I guess Forbes called it a energy island. So this isn't just some foreign policy story. This is a cost of living story. This is a your wallet is connected to world events, whether you like it or not story. And the real question is, why is the system so fragile that one global crisis can hit everyday people this fast?
So a lot of scary sounding news coming out from California about fuel supplies. The California Energy Commission saying that California has 6 weeks of fuel left, and that has a lot of people obviously nervous. 6 weeks. That's how much fuel supply they say they have left. And what a lot of people don't understand, as they are panicking, is that is a rolling average. It doesn't mean that California is going to run out of gas in 6 weeks. That's not what it means at all. It doesn't mean in 42 days that California is going to turn into, some West Coast version of Mad Max. It would be interesting, but that's not what that means. What it means is at current consumption rates with current imports and current refinery output, California has 6 weeks of supply in the system at any given time. That supply is constantly being replenished. Ships are arriving, refineries producing, pipelines flowing, all that good stuff. If nothing changes, the 6 weeks will remain 6 weeks tomorrow.
This dude talk like the Strait of Hormuz is not closed. Okay. I mean, this dude talk like nothing is closed. Nothing's going on and nothing's going to disrupt it. Yeah, the Iranian war, I guess that's invisible to him. The Straits of Hormuz is invisible to us. Some of these people are really naive, and you should disregard many of the things they say. He's trying to act like everything is normal and this will be replenished and we'll be able to go. No. See, this is one of these folks when the Most High really takes the place all the way out, he won't want to deal with that. So he'll make up all kinds of stuff so he doesn't have to deal with reality.
Californians only have 4 to 6 weeks left of gas, okay, y'all? And I don't think a lot of Californians understand how bad this is about to get, y'all, okay? We are literally about to be in a gas crisis, okay? Thank you, Gavin Newsom. Anyway, yeah, we only have 4 to 6 weeks left of gas, okay, y'all? This is why gas is also skyrocketing and everything. Also, to my knowledge, this morning, we received the last shipment of gas here in the Bay Area for California. So y'all about to see how bad this is about to get at them pumps. Okay, y'all, if y'all don't already know, gas is literally about to be $7, if not already $7 in some places. I've seen $8 in California in some places, right? So the fact that we're about to face a gas shortage is crazy. But this also makes sense because if you live in California, you know that we voted years ago, and by like 2050, California is supposed to be like 100% energy efficient. You're not supposed to be driving like gas vehicles on the road. So this made me really think. This is part of the agenda to possibly phase out gas vehicles and to push, hybrid vehicles and shit like that. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm not.
You see, California, because these gas prices ain't gonna get no better. And I'm trying to explain it to y'all. California, we got a problem, okay? Because gas was going down for a minute. It was going down. But now it's going right back up to where it's been. It's almost damn at $7. And at this point, I got a question. Why in the hell ain't California drilling its own damn gas? Huh? Kern County got about 2 billion barrels of oil. 2 billion. That should be able to lower our gas a little bit. I mean, damn. Texas got oil over there. Why we can't drill their oil? What happened to Venezuela's oil? Why we ain't using that? What is going on? They need to figure out this gas situation now, and they need to do it like expeditiously. Because it's soon enough, we all gonna be driving mopeds, e-bikes, e-scooters, and everything like that. Like, it's getting out of hand, and it's only about to get worse. They said the last bit of oil coming from the Strait of Hormuz just landed in Long Beach yesterday, and it's a wrap after that. You understand what I'm saying? So somebody make it make sense to me as to why we ain't started drilling and refining our own oil. California, we could do our own thing. We don't need nobody else's help. Gavin, get rid of these damn regulations so that we can drill some oil. Get rid of the regulations so we can drill some damn oil. I don't know about y'all, but we need to hurry up and get some new administration in the office in California, because right now I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off. I can't go nowhere because I'm going to burn up my gas. I can't afford gas no more. I can't. We can't. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments. Y'all have a good day now. You hear? Look at this. Look at this. $122 damn to fill my tank up. Now, see, we're going to have to come to some type of agreement of when enough is enough. California, y'all just seen that. Now, that's a story of my life, your life, and everybody else's life in the state of California. And I got a question for y'all. When are we going to come to an agreement that what number are we going to stop buying gas at? Like, at what's the price? 7, 8, 9, 10? Because this is not sustainable. And then to make matters worse, in California, they said we only got about 6 weeks left worth of gas. I ain't lying. Look. So you tell me, what is we supposed to do? What like, this is getting out of hand. And I hate to keep beating a dead horse, but this horse ain't dead. It's still galloping. It's still galloping at the Kentucky Derby right now. And I'm trying to figure out, when do we take a stance? Like, it's about to become unaffordable to drive to work. Like, how does that sound? Like, it's too expensive to drive the kids to school now. Like, if you are a person that commutes for work, like, I feel sorry for you right now. And I'm not being funny. I'm being dead serious, because right now, like I told y'all, gas is about to take us out. Like, gas is about to take us out. We about to get taken out by some liquid. Yeah, we are. Because we can't do nothing without it. They not gonna fix it. We got 6 weeks left worth of gas. What we gonna do now? What is we gonna do? What they gotta figure something out, and they better figure it out now. Because $122, I ain't never paid over $88 to fill up my charger. And I use 91. So please, somebody tell me, when do we take a stance, and at what number are we stopping buying it? Like, we gotta stop purchasing this gas. Everybody gonna have to sit still for a minute. For real. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this, but I think it's about time for everybody to sit still. Y'all have a good day now, you hear?
Brother, I feel your pain. Boy, I felt that. And I know what he means. It is ridiculous, because every time I go out, I am not exaggerating, the gas prices are higher every single time. And it can't go on like this. Once we get to a critical point, we're really already there. Anytime you see out of gas signs going up, we're already at the critical mark. And there are no ships coming from the Strait of Hormuz. There are no ships coming. So ultimately, before summer gets here, because you're talking 6 weeks, people are going to be parking their cars and either walking, looking for public transportation, or, like I said, they need to let people that can do jobs from home go back to doing those jobs from home. It only makes sense than having your workforce all out here driving to 3-4 gas stations every single day until they find one with fuel. How does that make any sense? You just be better off just letting everybody fire up those computers from home and just keep as many people as possible off of the roads. That really is the best solution for the summer. Unfortunately, people that normally travel, you're just going to have to give up the thought of traveling this summer. It may not be possible. So, I mean, I don't know. What are people going to do? Because, people go to funerals and graduations and all kinds of vacations, family reunions, and what's going to happen to all of that? You know, this is crazy. It is crazy. And Donald Trump is sitting there trying to say all of this stuff happening is Joe Biden. That's what he's trying to imply. And Trump is in China, and the president in China already told Donald Trump straight to his face that America is in decline. America's in decline. And it's going to stay in decline because Donald Trump is incapable of doing his job. He can't do his job. Y'all, this is a mess. This is a mess. What I deeply regret is the prices going up again. And I had to raise my prices on my products because Donald Trump doing all them damn tariffs, which drove up the price of my supplies. And now this is happening. This is the last thing everybody needs. Business people, non-business, nobody needs this, especially now. It's already bad enough that the jobs have not kept up with the cost of living. People are not making the wages that they really, truly should be making. And now you're going to ask them to take what they have and pay more? Because this is going to happen. As the fuel runs out, the prices are going to go skyrocketing again for everything. Now, I use mostly UPS because when I used the postal service, too many of my packages kept miraculously getting lost. I think they were taking my stuff. And I started using them. And since I use UPS, they've already gone up on the price. But for the most part, the majority of the packages do make it. I might have one or two out of the month that don't make it. And I usually will just repackage those and send it again. But at the end of the day, y'all, I don't want to have to raise my prices again because of all this nonsense that Donald Trump got us into. You didn't have to get in this war. You didn't have to get involved with nothing Netanyahu was involved in, but you just had to do it. And now look at what's happening out here. I tell you what, the Most High knows how to pick out the dumbest one among them and use the hell out of them, because that's what he's doing with Donald Trump. He's using the hell out of Donald Trump. Yeah, he'll have this place gone in no time, y'all. Because with no fuel, there is no America, y'all. They inundated this place with cars that run by fuel. Even if you did switch over to electric, you know how many years that would take for everybody to switch to it. That would take years. That might take a few decades before everybody is fully moved over to electric cars. That's really not a realistic solution right now. With the state the country's in, what makes you think people can afford to put away their gas fuel car, and get an electric car at a drop of a hat? Most people don't have the income to do that. So it's not realistic that you could just automatically switch over to electric like that. That will never happen overnight. That's going to happen over probably a good 1 to 2 decades before anything like that could be possible. So, boy, what a mess, what a mess. But you know what? Stay prayed up with the Heavenly Father, because one thing he will do, he will find a way for his children. And that is the truth. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Somebody was saying they think we're going to go back to the 70s way of rationing gas. I don't think so, y'all. I don't think so. I don't believe it's going to be anything like the 70s. What I think, and this is just my hypothesis, I'll just say that. What they may do is put limitations on how much each car can get. So instead of you filling your tank all at once, you may only be able to pump a set amount of fuel so that it's enough for everybody. I think they may be more inclined to do that than a repeat of the 1970s. I don't really think they're going to do that. That's just my opinion. Right. So you may only be able to get a certain amount at the pump so that, they'll be able to fuel thousands of cars in a day. But the 70s odd even, I don't think they're going to go back to that, y'all. I really don't. I don't think they're going back to that at all. So I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here. And again, thank you, Eagle Talons, for your membership. I deeply appreciate it. And I will see y'all at 11:45. Shalom, family.